pleasure to be able to address you here in this beautiful morning in New York. I had the pleasure to listen to Mr. Netanyahu's speech on Thursday, and I have a comment to make on behalf of the Icelandic people. Don't bomb Iran, not this year, not the next year. Don't start an other war in the Middle East. And at the same time, I say to President Ahmadinejad and the Iranian leadership, don't build a bomb. Let diplomacy work, not rabble-rousing or fear-mongering. Let's work for peace together. From the point of view of human rights, it is not the recession in Europe. We were the first country down, but we were also the first country up. And if there is any lesson to be drawn from the Icelandic recovery, it is that austerity doesn't work on its own. Iceland certainly went through her share of austerity, but we also raised taxes, especially on the wealthier citizens, and we used the revenue to stimulate growth and ensure the welfare system was intact. And today, Iceland has some of the lowest unemployment in Europe and robust economic growth. The Icelandic model works.
I believe that this is time to dwell deeper into the heart of the problem and a real debate, the relationship between freedom of expression and social responsibilities, duties, and obligations. Such actions cannot be defended under the pretext of human rights, freedoms, and liberties. A line should be drawn when the prejudicial effect outweighs everything else. When we discriminate against gender, it's called sexism. When African Americans are criticized and vilified, it is called racism. When the same is done to the Jews, people call it anti-Semitism, and laws are legislated to prosecute the perpetrators. But why is it? Why is it when Muslims are stigmatized and defamed, it is defended as a freedom of expression? Accordingly, we need to launch a process to decide the sustainable.
The Pacific Islands Forum, a regional... People in my country ask a very simple question. If 25,000 deaths, countless thousands injured, and many more displaced and homeless is not enough to get the Security Council to act, then what does it take? Just what does it take? And it would be even more difficult to overstate. My country was one of those that led the opposition to the veto when this institution was being established. Indeed, it was the only charter issue that was forced to a vote. The permanent members argued at that stage that the veto was necessary in order to protect their vital national interests. Yet today, we routinely see the exercise of the veto in circumstances which have little to do with national interests. My request to the 5 permanent members is simply that they stick to what they said to us back in 1945.
I thank the Minister. The United Nations and all its organs must live up to its creed